So this freaking shark is gonna shoot lasers at you, and it's multiple hits. It didn't exist in the 70s. And in the 80s, they came up with Japanimation. And like, that's cool. And then in the 90s, the mid-90s, Dragon Ball Z started airing. Say, this is pretty cool. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, that'd be the coolest gig ever if I could be the narrator. And then in 2000, I'm already working in radio. I got the broadcasting degree, and then I hear about auditions in Funimation. And like, whoa! That's literally what I did. Whoa! I did the whole the Metal Gear Solid thing. See? Exclamation point. So I go in and try out, and then I get really lucky because I hadn't done that kind of work before. The whole lip sync, act, do character voices, juggle, dance, monkey dance. I'd never done that before. I knew I wanted to do it. I had no idea how hard it was. And then after a few years of Dragon Ball Z, we started doing video games. The first game that I did, I think even before Dragon Ball Z Budokai, was Blood Rain 2. And we did this in the studio. Chris Sabat directed me, and he says, thanks for coming in today, Carl. We're going to have you do some random monster. If you see Chris, he is so ADD. I think he puts Greg Ayers' ADD to shame. Because he's like, he's got that really low voice. So you're going to be a monster. Oh, really? A giant monster. So my giant monster ended up sounding like, I immediately thought of, oh yes, Inspector Gadget. I thought of Dr. Claw. Or the Cave of Wonders. It's the same voice. It's the same actor too, Frank Roger. So I did that, and I had to say lines like, sweet meat. And then I kept laughing. Because I go back into my normal voice like, so I wish we could attach your laugh to the end of it, because that's truly creepy. So I got my first taste of what it's like to blow your voice out. We frequently do that in RPGs, first-person shooters. You blow your voice out. There have been some games in my time, Red Faction Armageddon, and let's see, Watchmen. Remember that awesome movie based on that awesome comic? Well, it was a crap game. You know how Hollywood likes to make really bad video game tie-ins to otherwise awesome films? Yeah, they still haven't fixed that. I blew my voice out. I recorded for Red Faction Armageddon, which was directed by, this blew my mind. I walk in and I see Carl Weathers, who was Apollo Creed in the Rocky films. He was in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's in Arrested Development as himself. But a few years ago, he was kind of dabbling in directed video games. Who knew? So I met him, and I'm secretly fanboying inside, saying, oh my God, I never in 1,000 years thought I would encounter someone from films I've seen as a kid. Hi, sir, it's great to meet you. It's an honor. It's like, great to meet you. Take this, you're gonna need it. You go, what? Herbal throat drops. Yeah. So I start just slurping away, and then I go in the booth, engineer adjusts the mic to my height because me and Richard Epcar and Travis Willingham are like the tallest people in the business. And everyone else is like this tall. Oh, Stephanie Shea is recording today. And inevitably I come in, or before Stephanie Shea, it's like, well, let's adjust the mic. And if you have a music stand, it doesn't go up here. Not for us tall guys, not for Chewbacca. It goes about here. So I gotta practically stand like James Hetfield from Metallica, like, and then off and recording. Yeah, it's fun. So I had nothing but screaming on Red Faction Armageddon from the very start to the very end. Now in video games, you do your dialogue first, in sequence, and then you get to the death stuff, the fight sounds, the attacks, the damage, and then the death. And they always want multiple takes. So what we're doing when we're recording games is, there's no footage, usually. And if there is, it's fairly rudimentary. It's like maybe an animatic, or like a really crude pixel thing, you know, it's like, this is a giant monster you're playing. Like, wow, scary. More times often than not, you don't see animation. What you do see is an Excel spreadsheet. Exciting, isn't it? It's like, column after column of information, like there's my character name, there's the Q number, we're going in numerical order, like, Q number 1, for Ryu, we're doing Street Fighter, and here's the line, the answer lies in the heart of battle. That's great, now give me 2 more. We tend to do 2 or 3 takes at once. Because reasons! I don't know. They like options. So when you're recording anime, they take the best first take, you know? And then if they really like another take, called an alt or alternate, they'll save that in the file, in the sound files. Just in case the client goes, do you have another take of that? Yes, we do. And then there you go. And then, it's great. And then if they still think it sucks, then they call us back in what's called a pickup session. Yeah, I'll get my pickup in here. No, pickup as in re-record for context or performance, tech issues. Yep, sometimes, you know, technology as great as it is, sometimes it can just suck. Pro Tools likes to freeze. Pro Tools likes to crash. Pro Tools, for those who don't know, is the recording standard in the industry for music, for video, audio production. And that's what we record on. Back in the day, when I first started Dragon Ball Z, we recorded to broadcast beta tape. The tape would rewind and take about 30 seconds to queue up, and if you blow the take, you'd have to wait. Now it's all QuickTime. We have the video cues on QuickTime. So if you blow the take, bam, it queues right back up to and everything has a time code on it, down to the millisecond and the frame. How'd you like to be the poor bastard who has to sit there and time code everything? Because someone has to adapt that Japanese script into English. And you have to know exactly to the frame when the character starts talking. Mind-numbingly boring, tedious work. But someone's got to do it. And when you go to the voice acting panels this weekend, you're going to hear, it's like, yeah, Chris Kaysen, he writes a lot. He writes a lot. Drives him insane. He'll probably admit, it's like, oh my God, I gotta get out of the house. I have no life. The freeing thing about it is, you can stare in your underwear on your laptop at 4 a.m. Or at Starbucks in your underwear. No, I wouldn't advise that. Please, put it on. Yeah, so by the time it gets to the booth, I have not really dabbled into the writing thing. I did 1 segment of Budokai, the first game. I said, this is not for me, thank you, no. I got paid, it's great, awesome, but it's like, no. And it's actually pretty good money, but you gotta work for it, you gotta earn it. I'd rather stick to the acting thing, and yes, you gotta work for that too. It's not just doing voices. Now, I lucked out crossing over from radio because I was doing acting-based stuff, like radio dramas and features with character voices. And when I tried out for Funimation that first day back in August of 2000, they said, what acting experience do you have? I said, radio Disney, does that count? I said, yeah, that counts. Like, thank God! Because if you go into a general audition and they say what acting experience you have, and you go, I like anime, you're probably not going to get the job. Well, you're not going to get the job anyway, probably because you're new. It's like, well, but gee, Kyle, why even bother if I'm not going to get hired? Because auditioning is the job. You've got to treat that as the thing that takes you to the next level. What you need to do in an audition, the thing you need to say to yourself is not, I'm going to put this part. The thing you need to say is, I need to make a good first impression. I need to show that I can act, that I can interpret this character quickly, and when that director says, change it, make it this faster, slower, higher, lower, add some pitch and gravel to it, then you can do that efficiently. And if you leave that good first impression on them, they'll still not hire you, but they may remember you, and then you get called in for another audition. Auditions are worth their weight in gold. Or, what was that thing from Avatar? Yeah, unobtainium. That's the unobtainium of it's just worth everything. Because you can go back to your life, and you should. When you audition, You don't sit there and lament about it. You know, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. And you sit there and you go, oh, I hope I get this. Because chances are you're not. You got so much going against you. You're the new guy or girl. You are reading against 200 other people who are way more experienced than you. And yeah, you got that uphill battle of directors like to stick in their little comfort zone. Yeah, there's a little nepotism going on. There's little drama, little circles, like, are you in the clique? Your job is to get in that clique. So that they will say, hey, that new guy's pretty good. You should call him in and have him do bit parts. That's what you start doing. So if you audition for a game or a show, if you audition for a big role on a game or a show, chances are you're not going to get that. If anything, you're going to get a little part. You're going to get called in to do Walla or assorted background characters that aren't necessarily named, or they're named really awkwardly in the game, on the script. Like, I just tell people, like, I'm in Titanfall! I don't tell them, it's like, I'm Militia Grunt. Like, what's a militia grunt? It sounds like you're trying to poop. It's like, well, yeah, you're trying to poop, and then a Titan shows up. I love mentioning Titanfall because people think I'm talking about Attack on Titan. And that's doubly confusing because I'm in that too. Attack on Titanfall! Just a small part. Just a small part. Mitsubi, he's in episodes 10 through 13. That show's like Game of Thrones of anime, right? It's like, and who dies now? I'm gonna get attached to this guy. Oh, never mind. Now, I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I'm a Walking Dead guy. You know, I'm all about The Walking Dead. As you know, no one's safe on that show. Like, or some people are like, I hate all of them. I don't care who dies. No. But anyway, I digress. Video games. So, video games pay way better than anime. I know a lot of people come to anime cons and think, I would just be thrilled if I could make a living voicing anime. The handful of people that do, that's the exception, not the rule. So I'm not going to ever pump sunshine up your skirt and tell you to pick up and move to Dallas because Funimation will hire you. What if they don't? What if you pick up and uproot your whole existence and go to a town where there's one company that might call you in for a general audition and then never again? Wouldn't it make sense to go somewhere where there's lots of opportunity? Yeah! So that's why I said to myself, in my college days, it's like, where are cartoons made? Oh, Los Angeles. I guess I should move there one of these days. And now that video games talk and are a huge industry, that's like the most lucrative and most common form. People from cartoons are now on video games. People on anime are on video games. It's like we're coming together. That's the central ground. Us anime people would love to be with the Rob Paulsons, the John DiMaggios, and the Billy West. We would love to frolic and play with them. Because we could do that. We could do what they do if we just got the chance. But yeah, there's some cross-pollination going on. It's pretty cool. It's exciting. I think when I play a game and hear one of my friends or colleagues, kind of takes me out of the story for a second. Like, I'm playing, I'm like, ooh, this bad guy looks awesome. Steve Bloom. Hi, Steve. I love Steve Bloom. He's my hero. I want to be him when I grow up. Wait, what? So yeah, video games, power-ups, yells, the things that blow your voice out. You know how to take care of that problem? Lots of tea, hot tea, and honey, lots of honey. There's this great Chinese goop that's just like throat syrup, like cough syrup practically. It's herbal, it's got honey and loquat and stuff, and it's called Ninju Papua or something, you know, it's unpronounceable. But if you put Chinese cough syrup on Amazon, it's the first thing that comes up. So it's like, get a jar of that. Get a jar of that stuff, because you take a teaspoon of that before you have to yell a lot over and over again. And then by the end of the session, you magically still have your voice. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't. You could sit there and try to nurse it with the hot tea and the honey and sit between takes and like, incoming! 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 Okay, that's great. Now do 10 more. Are you serious? It happens. That's what happened to Richard Epcar once. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, and the director goes, okay, I saved the best for last. Now your character's gonna die, and your character's gonna be set on fire. So I want 10 set on fire screams in a row. What is this? I don't even... Yeah. It got so bad that he lost his voice and had to call Andrea Romano and cancel his session. Andrea Romano is one of the most respected industry animation director legends. She has done Batman, Avatar, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons. She's my holy grail who I want to work with. How heartbreaking would that? How would you like to be on the receiving end of that? Or make that call like, Andrea, I can't make the session. Why? Because I screamed all day long. Luckily, it's okay. We'll just have you come in later in the week with the other guys. Because when you record on a cartoon, chances are not everyone's schedules gel. In video games, you gotta record by yourself. And still there's some flexibility. People's voice break down. You get sick. It happens. Do you automatically get recast? No, not necessarily. It could happen though. There's these little apps, these iOS games and stuff that are recorded in a day because there's like, 10 lines. And, yeah, if you're not available for that, then yeah, so, well, we'll catch you next time. Or if you go out of town, oh God. I was on callback for Borderlands 2 last year, but the problem was I was in Australia. I mean, that's a good first world problem to have, right? I'm in Australia! But I couldn't help but be a little bummed. It's like, I could have been on Borderlands 2. They couldn't wait just 3 more days. That happens. You're at the mercy of the production schedule. What can I say? So is there anything else about the session that I haven't covered that doesn't make sense or any clarification on? We don't get to study ahead of time, we record. It can be done in as little as 5 minutes. It could take 20 hours broken up over weeks, of course. The human body can only take so much. So you tend to record maybe in 2-hour slots or maybe up to 4 max. Some will say, cut me off at 3. I'm no good to you. If I'm screaming and then your voice is shot, what good is a 4-hour session going to be, right? So, yeah, there's that. They can either be generated on screen in an Excel spreadsheet form, or they still kill trees and print thousands and thousands of pages and put them in these 3-ring binders that are the size of phone books. Guild Wars 2 had about 10 of them. And they're all in subsections, so it's like, turn to this tab, and this subchapter, and this I would hate to be the poor slob who has to script all that. Oh my God, can you imagine? And you gotta keep it all straight. That's why someone from the game company is there in the session with the director, because the director would go insane too. Like, what's the context? Why is this character saying no? There's a billion ways to say no. 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 You gotta know context, like what am I responding to? So luckily someone from the game company, a writer, producer, has their magical laptop open and they have the master script and they can go, oh yeah. So the other character in this scene is asking you, do you want to build a snowman? It's like, and then you bolt to let it go. And then your friends kill you because that song is overplayed. Okay. I digress. Questions? Yes? Do they alter voices, in a decision once you're there, basically? Yeah, that happens. I could get cast based on the audition that I sent in. Most auditions are recorded from home nowadays. People have just at least a USB mic set up in a quiet room or a closet, something with a lot of sound absorption, like clothing or boxes. You don't want to be in the middle of a living room on a wooden floor because your voice will sound like this and echoey and bounce off that. That's not professional recording quality. That would never be accepted. But now technology's so good, we got little mics about this big. You record on your iPhone even. And I do. Actually, I just switched to Android. But I have my iPad mini, and I still use that. And then you email an MP3 and hope for the best. Then they call you in, and then they say, yes, we're going to play you your audition. And And then I'll hear it, and then it's like, okay, now change it. Oh, all right, I still got the job. You hired me on the basis of that, but now you're going to change it. That's what they did with Kamina or Maga. I was deeper, and they said, nope, he's 17, you got to make him younger. And I heard it in Japanese, and he sounds 40. And I knew right then that the otaku would totally just have a diarrhea fest all over it, and they did. The thing is, I got to do what's asked of me. That's my job. I can't sit there and go, but the fans, think about the fans. You're paying me at the end of the day. I got to do what you're telling me to do. You know, if you say Hadouken is pronounced peanut butter jelly time, I'm going to say peanut butter jelly time. And just to clarify, it's Ryu, not Ryu. It's Hadouken, not Hadouken. How do I know that? Because Capcom said so. And they paid me. So I wince a little, and it's like, so when you voice Ryu, it's okay, I'm used to it, because people still think my name's Hebert. Or Hebert. Yes? Did I see a hand go up? Well, now I'm seeing things. That's how you know I'm jet lagged. Going somewhere every time this month. So I got my cheat sheet of fight sounds and reactions that we're going to have you guys do, because we got about a half hour to kill, and we advertise this panel as a workshop, and that means interaction. So I have a second mic up here, and I just want to see what you guys do. I got different things like, well, you'll see. You'll see. Hey, I don't get to prep ahead of time, why should you? It's just going to be on-demand things. That's how fast. I mean, it goes fast. It's like an assembly line. So, to be the fair devil's advocate question is like, how do you know you're giving a quality performance if you're just all these disembodied performances? You have to trust your director. You have to trust the client that your performance is up to snuff, and you have to be on your A game, Mr. or Missy, with your actor rating. Yes, that's a word now. And if you're good, then they'll continue to call you in. I got called in on things that I didn't even audition for. Once you get established enough and you get hired over because those directors like what you do, then you'll be like, you want to be on Final Fantasy? Yeah? I mean, just bit parts, but still, I'm like, okay! I don't think I tried out for Titanfall. I think they just gave it to me. Like, I'm okay with that! Totally fine. I think I had bit parts on Resident Evil 6. But they had something to go on because I think I auditioned for all the main people that didn't get it. Wrote it off in my head because, yeah, that's the way it does. You audition and you go on with your life. And what's the next audition? What's the next audition? And then someone calls or emails 4 months later and goes, by the way, you got cast. What? I read for that? Sweet. Awesome. All right. So who wants to play? I saw him right here on the front row. But, yeah, why not? Let's just get a little crowd going. Come on up here. Eisenberg, how you doing? Oh, grab the mic there. All right, let's see. Button right on the left. We just want to tap once, and then it's on. Go ahead, talking to it.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Stephen Shalell.
All right, Steven. We're going to start with something nice and basic. Sometimes characters have to do silly things because it's what you do. So I want to have you laugh. Give me just, start off with a nice closed mouth chuckle, because there's 3 different kind of reactions, right? Closed mouth, open mouth, clenched teeth. So give me a closed mouth chuckle, just like a, something like that. Just hear me, hold the mic nice and close so we can hear it. Yeah, okay, that's nice and smug. Now, let's do an open mouth chuckle, where someone just told you like the funniest, whatever, 2 penguins walking a bar joke. It's funny, right? So give me something short, like about 1.5 seconds, just a light chuckle. Yeah, right? Short and simple. And if we're recording on a game, he'd do that 3 times in a row. So, hey, let's pretend we're recording on a game, dude. So, I want you to give me a spectrum. Start with a small, a little like, and then graduate. Because you know, they're small, medium, large, right? It's like pizza. Small, medium, large laugh. Let's hear it. Now I'm hungry. Beautiful. Perfect. They're all unique. They're all different intensity. They're all different lengths. That's beautiful. All right. Excellent. Okay, let's try another effort. Now, in games, your character, if you're a playable character, is frequently doing like running and jumping and parkour and all that fun stuff. So let's hear a jump effort. What do you think that would sound like? Yeah, pretty much. Now let's add a layer to it. Have you're jumping like maybe 5 feet. So when you land, there has to be some sort of exertion, like the air is coming out of your body because you're landing. It doesn't hurt, it's not painful, it's just like a 2-part effort, like a up in the air and land. What would that sound like? Wow, that's a short distance. Okay, let's space it out. Put a little pause. It's like do a little just exhale the air. Not that much effort. Let's see what that sounds like. That's good. That's good. Now let's increase the distance. I can go the distance. Sorry, Hercules just popped in my head. Hercules. All right, now you're jumping from 10 feet. So, a bigger effort. All right, yeah, you almost fall on your ass. That works. That's good. Let's try one more thing. Let's try some light jogging. What a light jog. You know, no zombies are chasing you yet. This is just like, you're fit, you're just walking through the neighborhood. Let's see what that sounds like. A light jog. Yeah, breathing. That's kind of like Pacific Rim. That's a light jog. Okay, maybe a little brisker, blowing directly into the mic. Like something a little faster. Let's hear it. Alright, now, you turn a corner, zombies. Orange! Yeah, zombies are in the corner. Now, we want a frantic, like, oh no. Let's hear that struggle, that, oh no, there's fear. Come on. Oh, you want to take them on. I see how you want. You got to give the director exactly what they're looking for. Now, you sound like a confident, competent battle's like, come on, let's go. Right now, I'm having to play someone who would totally run away. All right, so fear. I want to hear fear.
Oh God.
All right, good. All right, and then the zombies swarm upon you. So this is just loud, like, you know, pull the mic away. We don't want to scare people.
No! Oh God, come on, no!
Oh, come on, I got a wife and a mortgage. I have a reason with these zombies. Wouldn't that be great if that worked? Thank you, sir. Good job. All right, let's get a lady. Let's go. What's the gender? Let's go. Let's go forward. What is your name?
Rebecca Frederick?
What is your quest? I always turn into Monty Python. Can't help it. All right, so let's try lifting. Okay, so you're lifting an object. It's not like, you know, the size of Plymouth Rock. You know, it's something that you can lift, like maybe a heavy box. Let's hear what that effort would sound like. Okay, maybe a little more effort, like you have to, like as if you're a weightlifter, like. Okay, a little more. Make it a little bit longer. It sounds like a power-up. Or constipation. Every Dragon Ball Z actor hears that joke. Sean actually gets mad. He's like, no, not constipation! I'm saying to myself, well, that kind of is. It's magical poop, but it's still poop. Alright, so, yeah. Ooh, this sounds fun. Let's have like a swimming. What would swimming sound like? Like occasionally some water gets in your mouth. There's a little more gulping involved. And we don't necessarily need to have a bottle of water handy, because if you do that, you're gonna get moisture all over the mic, and that's bad. So you gotta count on your own voice to somehow convey that you're... You know, just relax your jowl. I know, it sounds weird. And you look even weirder doing it. No fear! That's what voice actors do, man. You just gotta look stupid and deal with it. It's not, I know it's not fair to have volunteers come up here and it's like, this is what voice acting's like. Because you have 100 people staring at you. It's not really that. You have more pressure. So, yeah, let's have you like try to gasp for air and gulp. It's like you're trying to tread water, but say your character doesn't know how to swim. That's better. That's better. I like that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Is there any sort of effort you want to do? Defend? Well, there's attack and there's damage, so your character can take a hit or give the hit. So she's doing taking a hit, so damage. So there's small, medium, large, right? So give me 3 in a row, but give me 3 small hits. Someone like, you're in a fighting game, the fighter punches you across the chest or the arm or something. So it doesn't hurt that bad, hence small. Let's hear what you do. Yeah, more like the third one. Like just take A, B, and C. I would say C is more what I had in mind for small. It's like, it's just very staccato, very short, very cut off. Because you'll have all the time to milk it for what it's worth when it's a larger effort. So now let's increase it. Let's go to medium. So medium hit. So you're punched across the face. So we gotta feel that impact. Like, yeah, exactly. Now, biggin, that's the word. Large effort, large defense, large as you were saying. Damage, this hurts the most, so this is bad. This is when the percentage bar, the health meter starts really going down. So let's hear your large damage. Cool. All right, that's some great stuff across the arm, across the face and all that. Now let's take one in the gut. What does a gut hit sound like? That's, yeah. I want to play with that a little bit. I'm going to orchestrate you a little bit and tweak that. Let's have it a little more, you know, actually, literally tense your stomach muscles up as you do it. Ooh, that's good. Okay, one more. That's a little like a cough. That's okay, that's all right. Yeah, that's good. And just more of a vowel sound, like throw a G in there, like. Yeah, like you're about to hurl. That's good. I like it. That sounds good. That's nice. Is there anything else that you want to do? Not particularly? Okay, well then give her a round of applause. Thank you. Excellent work. Alright, now we'll get someone to do some attack sounds. Attack. On Titan. Well, let's go with the black t-shirt there, yeah? Yeah, come on forward. It's badass for hire. I like what his shirt says. Badass for hire. That's not why I called it. I just noticed that now. He is a badass runner.
We'll get comfy expensive ass for now, will be.
All right, what's your name? All right, Tyler. All right, so small, medium, large, closed mouth, open mouth, clenched teeth. That's your 3 varieties. I want to hear your attack sounds. Now you're attacking not with your fist, but with a sword. Not the compensating for manhood Final Fantasy sword, but you can just swing with the one arm. So let's hear your attack interpretation. Okay, now 2 more. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. They're all different. They're all consistent. Yes, take direction well. Nicely done. All right, now. You know in Soul Calibur, the dude that does have that big axe-looking thing? Is he Nightmare? Astaroth. He's got this big hammer-looking thing. It's bigger than Mjolnir. It's way bigger. It takes both arms to swing. So this takes a lot of effort to do. Let's hear some swing effort to that. Like, yeah! Ooh, yeah, that's good. Now give me 2 more, so we like 3 in a row. And 1 more. Ooh, yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. What? All right. Let's go with death. Let's kill him. Let's do laser impact. Someone just takes a freaking laser beam, sharks mounted at you because it's video games and like Japan. Gotta have tentacles and schoolgirls because reasons. So this freaking shark is gonna shoot lasers at you, and it's multiple hits. So let's hear the impact of multiple hits. And it really, really hurts. Charlie Pittman, it really, really hurts. Let's see it, multiple, like, pew, 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 impact. Kinda sounds like he's doing the laser sound. Pew, pew, pew. No, this hurts. This is like, gah, gah, gah. Let's just riddle you with holes. Good. Now, let's make the succession even quicker. Close the gap. Now, faster. More like a machine gun. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Real bullets. It's so fun. Is that coming easy to you? Does it hurt? I mean, we're not literally shooting you, so at least it's not that. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, he died well for king and country. One more round of applause. Thank you. Nice job, sir. I will shake your hand, absolutely. There's lots of ways to die. There's 1,000 ways to die in video games. Next, let's kill us a woman. I'm gonna kill a woman, let's get a woman. Okay, come on up. I'm gonna kill you. This is a violent panel, isn't it? Hello, what's your name?
I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. All right, so the way we're gonna kill you, along the lines of the let's go with electrocution. So your character walks up to an electrified fence, and it's enough to kill you. So this is obviously not it's full on. So pull the line away, and we're gonna hear what you interpret as an electrocution death. Well, there would be a rattling to it, and no fear about looking stupid or crazy. Just make a committed choice. That's all I mean. Even if it's 100% off. As long as you commit to it, Okay, but let's lengthen that to about 3 or 4 seconds. Something along the lines of... pictures this weekend. Don't be nervous. This is a chance to have fun. Huh? You can't get you can't shake your face? I mean, I know that your wig would probably come off when you shake your head too, right? Ah, yes. Take it off, baby. So you see how I was doing? I was just like, yeah. Yeah? It's getting there. It's getting there. I wasn't trying to make you laugh. Oh, I do. They save the outtakes, so yeah, we crack up all the time. Especially if you have to cry on command. Oh, let's try that! Alright, your dog just died. The evil alien empire just... Oh, poor Spot. I feel for you. We would get an alt because, okay, that's one tick that's really squeaky, but we would want one that's just one, you know, with sputtering breath and all that. Maybe a little more voice. And they ask for a little more voice. They want you to elevate it above just a breath. So let's try that. Doesn't have to be as long as you did the last one. Let's just do a short cry effort that we can get the impression that you are snot running down your face. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Woo. Did that really come easier to you? Yeah. Do you cry a lot? Oh, that's an interesting tactic. I've never seen people try that.
I work by myself in a shop, so I have to rely on me.
So you use that as an excuse to work on your acting. Because you do have to fake it and act like you like the customers. I know you don't. Like, hello, welcome, how can I help you?
Please die.
Please die, here's your change. Yeah. Totally stay happy. Well, that was awesome. Thank you. Well done. Well played. All right, we got just a few minutes left. Maybe we can get one more, because there's more. There's a couple more deaths we want to do. We want to go back to some blood or liquid filled things like drowning. Who feels confident that they can without usually. Really? You feel confident? They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Sorry, it's just what came to mind. Who are you really in the real world, sir?
My name's Austin.
And all right, Austin. And in Middle Earth? What's your Middle Earth name? I don't know. I was going some more with that, and it tanked. Okay, so anyway. All right, so as I was saying, did I say? Yeah, I said drowning. Drowning. Let's go back to drowning. I want to hear drowning. Well, I never said it would be pleasant. Your character's dying. You have a health meter of 1%.
It's Dark Souls.
You're thinking about it. I see.
Okay.
You're prepping. It's good. Oh! That's amusing. Remember how we were doing that earlier with that other volunteer? I forgot who, but it was just like you're spitting out water. You're just trying to keep the water from going in your lungs. You can't swim. Remember when you first learned how to swim and you were sinking? How scary that was. We want to channel that memory. And if you still can't swim, then pretend someone threw you into the deep end. You're like, oh crap! we can find another death you feel more comfortable with.
Sure.
Slitting your throat. I mean, I like you, Austin, but you gotta die for that cause. Just saying.
Could you give me an example?
I knew you were going to do that. Well, so when someone slits your throat, now I've never seen this in person, mind you, right? When you're watching horrific films, it's, the slicing part's not the problem. It's the fact that blood is going down your airway, and that's what kills you. So, it's pain. It is like drowning. It's gasping for air, but the blood is going down at a phenomenal rate down your throat, and it's just ugly and very painful. Still want an example?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on Game of Thrones. I'm Sean B. No. You probably don't know.
Decapitation.
What?
Isn't that decapitation?
I don't know. I never seen Game of Thrones. I knew that I would have the death wrong. It's like he doesn't die by having his throat slit, right? I'm sure there's people at the Red Wedding though. That's the one part of Game of Thrones I did watch. I didn't care. It's like I want to see this shocking scene, so someone uploaded it on YouTube. Red Wedding, and whoa, okay. Let's just start by stabbing a pregnant woman right in the. Oh, okay. All right, maybe I should watch this show. Or not. I don't know. Sopranos with swords. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. Now you have a guide. That's much better. Yes. Yeah, I think you're more at home.
Yay for Bladettes.
Getting a Colombian necktie. That's great. That's awesome. Well, thank you. You died well, sir. Thank you, Austin. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, sir. All right. Yes, handshake. Absolutely. Any last minute questions about how it all works? It's just so much fun. Yeah. Doing research, sites that I actually don't know, like sample scripts and all that, that would be fantastic if someone offered that. Now in Los Angeles, if you were there are video game workshops like this, and people actually that do them, or that teach them rather, are heavy hitters in the industry. They direct games, and that's not a guarantee they're going to hire you because you took the class, because but I mean, hey, it's a win-win if you're taking something and learning from it and making an industry contact, because that's a huge part of this game, part of the fun, is networking and meeting the people in the industry, the people who have the power to hire you. You need a great solid demo, a good minute-long thing, and people have the means and the quality to do something at home, at least for practice. But your best bet is if someone offered an actual video game acting workshop where they had sample scripts and you could work on dialogue and all that with an actual acting coach, not a voice actor. I'm teaching my experience in the process. Voice actors can't make you become an actor. So don't ever misjudge what people offer when they say, hey, take my Skype class or whatever. Read the fine print. And if they offer you something too good to be true, then run the other way, because it is too good to be true. You can't take a class and instantly become a voice actor. You can't just take one class and suddenly, I have skills! This takes a lot of time to harvest and mature and all that stuff. So I'm sorry I don't have a direct answer for that. I wish I knew. But definitely in Los Angeles there are classes, and voiceoverresourceguide.com offers a listing of everyone who teaches acting classes and workshops in Los Angeles and New York. So if you can make it to either coast, make a trip of it for the weekend. You never know. You might be able to learn something. And they've got classes on everything. And what would be beneficial to you if you want to be an actor? Improv. You know, something as silly as, you know, whose line is it anyway? Those guys have to think on their feet all the time. That is an essential skill that we have to do every time we're in the booth. Because there's no practice, right? We're told bullet points. All right, today, you're a 40-year-old general. What does that sound like? Well, put something together. Just make your brain fart out something awesome. And if it's not awesome, maybe they'll like it enough to say, okay, good, now change it.
Make it 80.
Yeah, it happens. Yes. Weirdest voice? I don't remember a weird voice other than yes, the Dr. Claw thing. And Blood Rain 2, just because I literally thought of Dr. Claw and the Cave of Wonders. But I don't know. Sometimes the dialogue takes you for a loop. Some things are full of innuendo, and you just start laughing. Goes, especially in anime. Sometimes the character just pauses in a certain compromising position, and you're just like, that's funny. We're all little 12-year-olds every time we're in the booth, basically. Like, we're professional, we have to be when you hit record, and then as soon as the take's over, it's true. You gotta have fun. You gotta still be a big kid. I am. I mean, you know, if you're all stuffy, it's probably not for you to be in the arts. But if you think outside the box and you want to have fun, taking an acting class, even if you're not meant to do this, even if you're just genuinely interested, I think it's a phenomenal experience to just see what is it like. What is it like to have to think on your feet? Cold read. That's another skill voice actors absolutely have to have. You're given the script. You read it 10 seconds before you're performing it. How do you master that? Especially if you have dyslexia, for example. I mean, you gotta conquer other demons first. If you have a speech impediment or a regional accent that don't go away, you gotta make that. You gotta shut it off like a light switch. Take care of all that stuff first, because that will absolutely hinder you to the point you will never be hired. And I want to encourage people, if they're interested in becoming an actor, to take classes and see. Because you never know. You may have some good raw talent, or you may not. It's not a knock against you. Some people are meant to be some things, other people aren't. You just may have an aptitude for certain things. But don't waste 10 years of your life taking classes when you're not making any headway whatsoever. Hopefully your coaches that you work with will be honest with you and try to say, is there anything else you want to do with your life? Because if you're still setting wooden after, a bunch of classes, then you're probably not meant to do that. But don't sit there and not do it because you're worried about failing. Do it and try it, because that's so much better than wondering what if. You know what I mean? So I definitely want everyone out there who's interested in doing this to take baby steps towards that. Yeah, there's acting classes in Minneapolis. They're not anime or video game related, but still, acting is acting. This is just one form of acting. If you can get on stage, get on a student film, that's all legit. Working on fan dubs, not so much. It's practice for lip sync. It has some value, but, and practice at home. Read aloud, 10 minutes a day. Doesn't matter what. Just do it. Doesn't matter. Record yourself. Get used to your voice. Because the way it sounds recorded, that's how the world hears you. It sounds different in your head because the way the vibrations, the vocal cord, it's just different. So get used to that. Be confident. Read for people. First read for yourself. And then slowly start inviting your friends over. If you have fellow actor friends, bring them over. Start critiquing each other. And then get involved with online radio dramas or whatnot. Just slow baby steps. Because, classes are expensive. No one has hundreds of dollars to invest. But it is an investment. I started taking acting classes after I started in the industry. I was so lucky that I got in. But I knew that I had to hone those skills, because I had no clue what was going to happen. Do I need to shut up now, staff? Are we ready? Okay, all right, cool. I'm sorry I'm droning on. Other people that had your hand up, I will totally answer your questions. If you catch me at a later time this weekend, or you see me walking down the halls, please don't hesitate to come up. I'll be more than happy to fill you in on stuff. Or if you catch me at the autograph session, we'll totally help out. I promise you will not be ignored. I will do my very best to take care of all questions. All right? So thanks for coming. Hope you had fun. And enjoy Anime Detour, yo!